now.
Oh,
You changed the video. Hang on now. Audience, he changed the video. The timing is off. It's not my
you
bad.
got the video over 24 hours ago, and you didn't.
I didn't watch it.
Oh my
I just
God,
put it
James.
on the thing. It could have had anything in there. It could have
Yeah,
said James Harris as a big dookie. I don't know.
Actually, if you go back, surprise.
Oh no, wait, it's now.
That's actually the tagline for the show. Rise of the Forsaken. Oh wait, it's now.
Carry
Welcome,
on.
everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. You are most welcome now to the latest episode of Rise of the Forsaken. And though we're on episode 7, this is chapter 6, A Web of Memories and Lies. And as always, and for the very first episode of 2022, I am joined with the full cast. And I'm going off of my screen. The layout might be slightly different to the rest of you. But I am joined by James, who's playing Umbra, Emma playing Regmund, Eilish as Diara, Fiona as Nulra, and Kat as Mooney. And as always, I am your dungeon master. That was a guest star in the background there. And I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful break. I hope you had a really, really relaxing time with friends or family. And you are settling in for what we hope here at D8 Dungeon will be a very, very proactive and busy and hectic year of playing tabletop role-playing games. So if you're out there and you're in chat, sound off. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what you got up to over the holidays. I think we're doing something slightly different for this session. And I think going forward, I think it's a good way of doing this. So before
depending how chaotic it is.
Yeah, before the stream started, because we don't do any, we don't really do recaps. So if you haven't had a chance to watch the last episode and you're just jumping in at this point,
Good luck.
Before the stream, I assigned each one of us a number, 1 to 6, and I then rolled a d6. And the person whose number came up had the task of giving us a recap. And depending on how well that recap goes, and it's in character or as their character, that player is awarded inspiration. And it's a stacking inspiration, meaning that if the player already had inspiration, they can put this one just to the side of it as well. And I reserve the right as the DM, if my number comes up, which it never will, So Fiona, for the next session, you get to assign numbers and roll the d6.
Fair.
So that's the way we'll pass it along. But I, as the GM, will get inspiration, and I will be able to use that inspiration for my NPCs.
Okay, well, everyone better treat me nicely in this.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fiona. And it's a rap, isn't it? It's a rap, you said, Declan. It's actually a rap.
I said a rap. It's a rapping haiku, Oscar.
Oh, you're such an arsehole. Happy 2022, everybody. I panically made notes just before we started, so just let me open that tab right now. And we'll see where we were. So if anyone didn't watch it, you're not going to learn much. So good luck with that. So in the last episode, I'm Nulra now, so I might get inspiration. We went to a cave because we had to get mushrooms because everyone in the village was dying. And I kind of feel like it's my fault because I killed a poison boar. Well, actually, I didn't kill it. Umber killed it. So maybe he should share the blame, actually. Yeah, I'll just put that thought in the back of my head. But I should have pointed out that it was a poison boar because everyone ate it and now everyone's dying. And now I feel guilty. But then we found out we can go get some mushrooms in a cave. So we went to the cave to get the mushrooms. And we went there and it was great. But then Umber kind of thought, hey, hold on, there's not a cave here. But we were all like, hey, fuck off. There is a cave. So let's go in. And then these goo monsters came up. And then I had a realization that, hey, wait, hold on. I've seen this black stuff before. And it was all over a boar that I remember being attacked by when I was younger. And Hilaria was there, but I don't really remember much apart from that. And then we all had to fight these things, but then we weren't really doing that well, as per usual. So we all ran into a further corridor, and then we found Bulgar, who was Regman's boss, but Regman called in sick that day, and now Bulgar's dead. So I think it's Regman's fault, but I'm not sure. We'll find that out. And Regman got kind of upset when he saw his dead boss. And written on the floor, it said, "Not without you," which we didn't really figure out because everything went to shit. So we didn't get to talk about that bit yet. And there was these big black doors. And we all seemed to have a problem because our DM in the sky described them as double doors. But then we all kept saying, "Wait, hold on, are there 2 doors?" And there was a lot of confusion. But then we figured out there were double doors and there was runes over them. And we were fighting Balgir, and then Diara died a few times. And then Hot Elf came with the Bard, who turned out to be this crazy automaton robot man, which kind of freaked us out. And then they smashed my brother's face against the door to open it, and that made me really angry. And then, oh yeah, before I forget, Regman broke my axe nearly, so that, yeah, thanks, Regman, so fuck you. And we opened the doors and got in, and then they shut the doors behind us, and there was a dead tree, and there was a statue there that looked like Ilaria, but I didn't see that because I was just really pissed off at that stage. And then a big goo monster came in again, and I think Eileen Sapros was dead, so that made me upset. And then Aloe was dead, and I didn't really get on with her, so I didn't care about that too much. And then Eric was dead, and he was there too, and I kind of felt sorry for Dara, but that means she wouldn't have any more dates with him, so that's okay. I mean, we all are happy about that. And we all are happy about that. And then we all kind of died, but then Humber got a visit from some woman in the sky who we don't know much about yet. Oh, we'll find out soon, I hope. And he fed us poison rowan berries, but then we all got better for some reason, except Mooney remembered a story Ilaria told her where some kids ate the berries and died, so we might die still. And that's where we are right now. And I'm holding Diara in my arms, who like is dead again. So.
And that's what you missed, Ugly.
Yeah. I hope Declan will never ask me to do it again.
That's just how I imagine, most teenage girls' diaries.
Dear diary, Diara died again.
Can have the inspiration?
I'm just gonna take my inspiration, my double inspiration.
Yeah,
it's always fun seeing what the subtitles track Diara's name as. This time it was thyroid.
Yes, you can go ahead, Fiona, and tech on a supplementary DM inspiration for those notes.
You never asked Nora to do stuff like that because it's just a flood of shit.
Well, I can assume that it was just a wall of text in the subtitles. So yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, you gave us. Not only did you give us chapter 5, you also gave us a bit of chapter 4 in there as well. Like, so fair play. That was
covering all the bases.
Covering all the bases. But yes, we left the end of chapter 5 with the 5 of you having defeated the scourge, but not without cost. Diara is badly wounded. You are all seemingly exhausted. But the last thing that kind of all of you remember before Mathis had the automaton seal you inside and try and kill you with that poisonous gas, you heard him say that he was going to take care of Ilaria, whatever that might mean. And what are the? Well, it's 4 of you plus Diara, who's unconscious in Nulra's arms, standing. You're still in. You had made your way out of the sanctum with the statue and the rowan tree, but you've kind of made your way to the bottom of the pit where you had come to get the mushrooms. You don't see any of the scourge or the rot around. There's just thick ooze where these creatures had massed. There's nothing else around.
Let's go home.
Yeah.
Can I do a medicine check on Diara? That's all.
Yeah, give me a medicine check, Regiment.
Nora's
Wow,
not
I
gonna
mean,
let her
I
go.
did try that, but that's fine. That's fine. You're more qualified, Reggie.
Then he's just gonna ignore him completely. That's an 18.
What the fuck?
So yeah, Redmond, you with Nora holding her, you run over to Diara. You're not really sure what you're doing, but you're doing all the things that Eileen Sapris would have done and Ilaria would have done, and you're kind of you put the back of your hand on Diara's forehead to check her temperature. You check her glands in her throat to see if there's you're checking her for tonsillitis.
And
But she has tonsillitis. She's still she's warm to the touch, and there's a pulse there. It's faint, but there's a pulse there.
Minnie has something.
Hmm?
And she left with Eileen Sapris's locket in her hand. She sort of looks down and looks at the locket, and then she touches the own that she has around her neck, and she looks at everyone and says, I think there's one thing that I might be able to do, but I've never done it before. And she's going to take the locket that was around her neck, and she's just going to think very positive thoughts and then open the little clasp. It's one of those lockets that has you open it up and it's got two little photos in it. And as she opens it up, there's a little picture of a berry. And with her magic, berries just spring out of this locket, 10 of them, as she uses one of this little necklace's charges for good berry. And she takes one and she presses it to Diara's lips.
So out of game, really, really quickly, in case you're James and a stickler for the rules and continuity and stuff like that, so over the last couple of weeks, actually quite close, really. Emma, Kat, and I have all had our birthdays, and just as small tokens to the players and their characters, and just how much fun we've had on stream. I gave them birthday gifts. Yes, Fiona. Yes, I realized that your
birthday in November.
I realized your birthday had also happened.
It's because you're not a Capricorn, Fiona.
Yes, but you're not a Capricorn. only Capricorn.
Oh yeah, okay.
Only
Scorpio hate, whatever. Oh, I'm so angry. Go on, continue.
So again, they were on their birthdays or at significant events in their life. Ilaria gave Kat and Regiment each something, and Kat just used her token, and it's a necklace called Apple of My Eye, and it allows Mooney to cast. There's a number of charges in the necklace that recharge at the end of the day, and it allows her to cast Goodberry and purify food and drink up to a certain amount of times a day. And when Redmond's gift comes into use, we'll explain what that is and where it kind of came from. But we'll see. With a handful of berries, Mooney, you press one to Diara's lips, and Diara, you recover 1 HP, and you can feel your body. You are in absolute pain. Your body is almost numb, but not quite enough to shirk off the agony that you're in.
Nolra's seen that she will regain consciousness after being fed one of these berries. Nora's shaking. She's gonna snatch the rest of the berries from Mooney's mouth and just kind of, not as gracefully as Mooney, but mash them into Diara's mouth.
Okay.
Ow.
Will this help?
Yeah. Okay, so recover 10 HP as you are force-fed berries.
Oh dear God.
You're going to be so stuffed.
You're gonna have diarrhea, but you're gonna be alive.
Roll for Constitution.
Roll for the runs.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay, 17 minutes before we went there. That's fine.
Hey, that's better than previous streams, so we are learning. With that, and with Dayar awake and coughing up berry juice, the five of you stand here still at the bottom of the pit, looking up. You can see the light at the mouth of the cave in the quarry. It has dimmed somewhat since you came down here earlier on in the day.
We're still at the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nora's gonna have got Dara kind of still in one arm. She doesn't want to let her down yet, and she's just gonna grip Regiment's wrist and say, "We need to get out of here. Let's get out of here now, all of us." And she's gonna start making her way up and out.
Regiment's gonna nod and then point at Dara whilst giving Umbra a side eye. As if to say, that's how you do it, pal. and go along and up out of the cave.
Okay, it was the magic berries, but that's fine.
Did you not know that Regiment was doing a night course in medicine over and over?
In the local community college.
Regiment can take that masonry jar, and I'll tell you what he can do with it.
Are you still carrying Null, or are you still carrying Diara?
Yeah, but I kind of have her scooped
No,
in
I was
one
gonna
arm now.
say,
Oh no, you're gonna wriggle out? Okay.
I'm gonna wriggle out like a puppy that doesn't want to be held.
Okay. I will let you down gently.
It is also grievously wounded.
Yeah.
I know, she's full of berries, she's grand.
The five of you head up back towards the mouth of the cave, and enough time has passed, though with everything that has happened in the last hour or two, you're not really, your grip on what time it was when you came down and what time it is now, only Umbra is aware that as you emerge from the cave, at least 9 hours have passed because you walk out into twilight. And on the other side of the quarry, Umbra, you and only you see standing atop the cliff on the opposite side that woman from the meadow. And she points directly north. And you hear, and only you hear, her voice, a whisper that echoes across the quarry. Death must remember.
He clasps his hands.
Yeah, go on.
He clasps his hands and breaks off into a run to the north.
As you rush out, Umbra and the others are behind you. You see that woman just burn with light, like she just erupts in white flames. And as you cross the threshold of the mouth of the cave out into the quarry, you, Regiment, Diara, Nulra, and Mooney all effectively recover. It's the same recovery you would if you'd long rested.
Okay.
So you have recovered HP and abilities and spell slots. And that's not
Lovely.
ominous for any particular reason.
Oh gosh.
What a waste
no.
of good berries.
Okay, I got the charge back.
Except that doesn't happen.
Did you say everyone
you're
but
right,
Umbra?
Brennan.
Yeah, everyone but everyone including Umbra.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
What did
So-
she say?
Death must remember.
So
He
Umbra's
said
fucked up ahead
Regiment's
of
a
us.
sap. Doesn't know how to do medicine.
Yeah, you've just seen. So, Nulra, you run out, like your Umbra bolted as he reached the top of the path down into the cave. He just sprinted out of the cave out into the quarry in the light. And he's about 20-25 feet in front of you all. It's just ye in the quarry. You don't see sign of anybody else. You don't see Mathis, or as you have effectively dubbed him, Hot Elf, or the automaton bard that was by his side.
Okay. I think now that we're out of the cave, Nora, after all the crap that happened in there, she's suddenly going to come to her senses and realize why we went there in the first place was to get those mushrooms. And her breath's going to catch in her throat a little bit, and she's going to start running towards Umbra and shouting at him, "How you still have those mushrooms? How long until you can make the cure?"
Shrugs. I don't know. It's not me who's gonna make it.
Who?
I can't remember his name. You cannot do this to me.
It was the guy.
Kaylor.
Oh, okay. Well, you know clearly, so.
We have history.
You are correct. It is Kaylor.
Okay, well, I'm gonna kind of just Umbra, I assume, has stopped at the top. Have you?
Oh no,
I'm
he's
sorry.
gonna keep going.
He's still keep going. Okay, I'm gonna kind of run beside you and just be like pushing you with a lower back, going, "Come on, we have to hurry, please. Let's hurry."
Tiara's gonna be like standing way behind them, going, "Seriously?"
Yeah,
You got out of my
Minnie's-
arms.
Minnie's staying with Dara. Be like, are you okay? Are you alright?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
I think so. We should.
I'm so sorry about Eric. Dara.
What? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? He's dead? We're all
No.
dead, Dara.
What?
Eileen Sapris and Aloe and Eric. What do you mean? What do you mean?
That wasn't real.
Oh, Dara.
No, that wasn't.
I think something's really wrong, Dara.
There's a scratching from inside the bag, Mooney, and you just kind of hear it.
What?
I don't think she's quite of the mental fortitude to find that out just yet, Mooney. Perhaps we should keep her in this state so that we can, she's going to be useful. Telling her that her friends and family are all dead, probably not the best course of action.
All right.
Just tell her you were joking. Tell her it was a joke.
Minnie's just gonna look at him, and she's gonna look down at Dara, and then down at the little locket that's just still covered in the sludge that used to be Eileen Sapris, and just say nothing and just start to walk after the others.
I shouldn't laugh. Oh my god.
Weird.
We're up ahead. We're fine. No trauma here, no sir.
Running away from trauma. God, I wish that was me.
Diara's just gonna put her hand out for Reggie and start walking.
Yeah, he's trying to scurry along to catch up with the others, but he's not very fast.
Okay, so it's Redmond and Diara kind of in the rear. Mooney, you've run not to quite catch up to Umbra and Nullera, but you're kind of just running away from the situation, given what Brassica had just advised. Redmond, Diara, and Mooney, when you reach the top of the quarry, and again, that pathway kind of circles around, you find Nullera and Umbra standing there, not quite out of breath entirely, but just kind of composing themselves, having ran up the hill out of the quarry. In the distance, you can see just this thick cloud of grey-green smog having rolled across the top of the village and almost drowned the hills around Canuck. In the distance to the northeast, you can see a plume of smoke billowing upwards. There's still no sign of Mathis or the automaton.
Can we tell it's coming from the direction of the orphanage yet? Because it's up on the hill.
Give me a perception check if you want.
Yeah, okay. That is an 8.
It's coming from a direction, but you can't. You like it's coming from the northeast. You're able to tell, Regiment, but there are other houses and there are other buildings in that general direction. You're not able to pinpoint whether it's coming directly from the orphanage. You don't see. You cannot see the orphanage from here, the orchard from here.
Okay. He's going to start running in that direction anyway.
You're running back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is everybody running?
We're all running at this stage.
That's all you're gonna do. You're just gonna run back towards the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all right. Okay,
Yeah.
I just asked ominously for no reason at all. I'll just mark that down.
No, wait, the others didn't answer yet. The others
No.
said that they're not there.
Is there anything else on the way? Because we've reached the top of the hill. We see the plume of smoke. I guess we would all run towards.
You're running back. Yeah, no, I figured that's fair enough. You're just running back to the village.
Yeah, well,
Declan.
Reggie's specifically going to the orphanage, right? Because he wants to make sure.
Well, you'll have to go through the
village to get there.
Yeah. Yes, Diana?
Out of game, Declan. Do you have any clocks on that page in front of you?
Anyway, as the five of you continue your run towards the orphanage, making your way back to the village of Canuck, on the outskirts of the village, and you're close to Canuck because one of the first buildings you would see, you would spot from here, is the masonry, is Bulgar's workshop. You can't help but see it. It's built to accustom the giant going into it. And Regiment, as you round the corner, and the rest of you are you're all kind of fairly kind of grouped together or close together. You can't see the masonry.
Like disappeared?
It's like you would see the roof. You like, again. Balgir was a giant, and he worked in the workshop. So the roof, it was retrofitted for him to be able to go in and to work inside. Again, it's that weird thing of, it's just maybe the fog here is too thick. Maybe your vision is kind of obfuscated. But each of you makes that mental note that you would spot the masonry from here. You always see the masonry here. And then as you continue, you notice that the ground underfoot suddenly it starts to shift and slip a little bit. It's as if the path that you were on a moment ago has just been drowned and drenched and soaked, and it's closer to running in a bog or over swamp more than anything else. Your footsteps slosh. There's pockets of gas erupt around you, and just the stench of stagnated water kind of fills your nostrils, and there's just generally a very, very unpleasant heat and stench as you make your way into Canuck, and all of you see the ruins of the masonry.
Is it the same smell as the sludge, Declan?
Give me a wisdom saving throw, Nora.
Oh, fuck. Where's my Christmas dice? Yahoo! Good first roll. That is a 16.
Damn it, I paid Mark 50 quid to make that a botched dice rolling tower.
Yeah, my lovely new tower that my husband
Gorgeous.
made me.
Lovely. Ooh.
Good first
Um,
roll. I won't divorce him.
Not today.
We'll see how the rest of the game goes.
As you inhale it, Nolra, and you cough, like it's just your lungs burn with it. Your memory spins out of control. Scent, it's intoxicating, and you remember the dream. You remember Mooney, and you remember Diara, and you remember being lost and searching for her and looking for her. And then you remember being a child, and you remember the boar and the smell off of it, and the decay and the rot, and that just how frightened you were. That's exactly what you're smelling right now. And you feel your pulse quicken, but you manage to keep a hold of yourself. You can manage to keep a calm on yourself. All of you see on the left and right of the road the buildings, the homes, the businesses of Canuck, the places that you would have visited, the places that you would have tried to get summer part-time work, the places that you might have stolen a pie from, looking at you, Redmond. The village of Canuck is in complete and total ruins. If the building hasn't been lost to the swamp, it has taken serious damage. If it hasn't completely drowned under the muck and the quagmire of the swamp, grass and weeds and vines are beginning to claw and twist and strangle the walls and foundations of the buildings. The village of Canuck, that you all know it, there's nothing there. It's
What
a
the hell
wasteland.
happened?
Then he starts to weep. She's looking out at the fields to see if she can see any of the sheep or the cattle.
Give me a perception check.
I'm rolling my
Mooney.
new dice. Roll for sheep. Oh no, perception. What do I add to that?
Trauma.
Good, yeah,
You see all the sheep, but they're dead.
I'm 12.
Yeah, Moni, the first place you go to, the first place you check, it's the small plot of green near the center of the town. It's where the pet farm was hosted during the festival, literally only a day ago. There's no animals, but you have found bodies. There's a small group of bones, half kind of sinking into the swamp. They look to be dressed like peasants. They look like what clothing has survived. The body is badly decomposed. You can't identify who it is.
Minnie starts silently weeping, and she goes into her little bag and she pulls out her spell book full of the children's stories, and she'll flick to a page which has a story about a seamstress in her magical thread which she makes clothes from, and she'll go through the margin to the spell that's been scribbled there, and she'll cast mage armor on herself.
Okay.
Because she knows that something's terribly wrong.
Yeah, Nulra would have kind of thrown out an arm to grab Diara's arm, and I don't know if she can feel it, but she would be like slightly shaking, and without even looking at Diara, she'd just kind of say out loud to the group, this smell, this danger, this, we've experienced this before. You remember? You do remember, Diara? Mooney, you remember, don't you?
I had a dream about this kind of sludge, and I don't think it was a dream.
She's like probably
How-
visibly shaking now. She's just gonna say, no, it's real. It was all real.
We have to go home. We have to find Ilaria. Maybe she knows.
Reginald's just gonna put an arm around Mooney's waist, but like that's about as high as he can reach. So.
Umbra is gonna trace his sun and moon tattoos and mutter a spell and cast detect poison and disease and see if he gets anything from the corpses or the surrounding area. It'll last 10 minutes and you can detect poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet.
You know that weird feedback loop you get when you put a microphone in front of the speaker, and it just starts screeching back in on itself. As you cast that spell, Umbra, your magic screams at you. There is nothing but rot, scourge, decay, and poison, disease, and death here.
He drops concentration on it nearly immediately and pulls his scarf over his mouth and shaking his head, he just starts to say, "We're too late. We're too late."
How long were we in that cave? What the hell happened?
Well, whatever it is, we can't let anything happen to any of you, any of us. So please, let's just stick together and keep moving.
And Ilaria, we have to find her. Oh shit! Hang on. He's just gonna start walking towards the orphanage to try to find her.
Did Regiment speak there or no?
No, sorry.
No. Okay.
Yeah, your regiment is still mute.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just still processing his trauma. Yeah.
Okay.
Laura would instinctually want to have ran to Regiment, but seeing him going ahead and not wanting the others to fall back, she's going to wait until the others follow after Regiment and stay at the rear.
Give me, just as you're waiting for the others to kind of pass Fiona, Nolra, sorry. As you're stood there waiting, what is your passive perception?
12.
You thought you saw something just move through the fog. There was just and you're instinctively you're kind of, it was like that thing at the corner of your eye, and when you go to turn to look, there's nothing there.
And could I tell exactly where it was? Was it ahead of me?
It was
the side?
to your right. So
To
if everybody else is moving, is continuing to move into the village, to your right, behind one of the broken houses, you saw this thing in the corner of your eye.
Okay.
It was a blur.
Well, she would call out. She'd say, "Regiment, stop! There's something over here." And she's going to have her axe at the ready. And did it go behind one of the houses, you said, or one of the remnants?
Yeah, it fitted behind the house.
Okay, she's going to just put a hand out to the others and say, wait here. And she's going to make her way around to see if she can see what it was.
Umbra's going to use Vigilant Blessing to give him advantage on his next initiative roll.
Okay. Nolra, gripping the fragile handle of your axe. I didn't do it. Regiment did it. I just allowed it to happen. You kind of, whether proving something to yourself or you're not sure what's possessed you. Every time you've encountered this, every time you've experienced this stench, this atmosphere, this feeling, you've either ran from it or you have blacked out, and that has done nothing for you but back you into this corner and weapon, no weapon, damaged weapon, whatever, you find the courage to go look at this, to go find and confront what this is. And you step off the path towards one of the houses. And for a moment, it takes you a second or two to kind of place where you are, where this is in the village. It's a village, it's not huge, but given how difficult it is to see everything around you and just kind of the panic that sits on you, you're not quite sure where you are. And as you round the corner of this house and this wall that's kind of collapsed in itself, you weren't certain until you saw the body.
Oh.
And lying against the wall, thrown down, the corpse, is like the skin is taut, the hair has fallen away, and like the neck is kind of down. But to their right, to the right of this corpse, you see another body, equally as rotted, but wearing armor that's tarnished and stained. And in the corner, as you approach, as you go to look, to witness this, just to understand what you're seeing, you see this person, this victim, this whatever, is holding a sword, a blade in their chest. And as you crouch down, you recognize them as Deirdre.
They have a blade through their chest,
Yeah.
but they still
Oh,
look
shit.
emaciated and the same as this other corpse.
Almost mummified. It's that weird thing where the body has decomposed, and you
And
know
the
it's her
one-
because her tooth is missing. Like, you know it's her. Like, that's like I'm not trying to make you laugh.
Shouldn't laugh.
I'm not trying to make you laugh, but that's how you know.
Yeah, that, as much as Nora hates that bitch, she's just gonna let it like a scream. No, it's just gonna shock her that she actually recognizes this person and it's Deirdre. I mean, obviously she hates her guts. She doesn't want her to be dead. The body that's beside her, Declan, does that have any obvious injuries? Or I could tell how it was killed. I mean, obviously I can see the sword through Deirdre, but does the other one have any wounds or anything like that?
I mean, I'm not going to make you do a medicine check. You're not doing an autopsy. It's pretty obvious where Deirdre's body has a sword plunged through her. This person, as you kind of pull at them, you see that their right hand, like between their ring finger and their middle finger, the hand is completely split the whole way down. It looks as if Deirdre cleaved him before she got stabbed.
Oh, okay. And I don't recognize anything.
Or somebody did.
Yeah.
Sorry. But
I don't recognize anything on the other person that would identify them as someone that I would know.
All you notice, again, the armor is there. It's rusting and tarnished. The cloth itself is soaked with brown, like a brown black pungent liquid. But on the back of the soldier's armor, emblazoned, you just see a sun.
A sun, okay. And that doesn't mean anything to Nora?
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay. Can I and there's nothing, obviously I saw a movement, that's what brought her around here. I don't see anything kind of in the vicinity that would be moving or anything like that. It's just these two bodies in front of me right now.
Yeah.
Can she pull the sword from Deirdre?
Yeah, you do. As you pull the sword out, the body just falls over itself.
And can I tell anything? Is there anything, any identifiers on the sword, or is it just a plain old sword?
It's just a
Okay.
really old, tarnished-looking short sword.
All right, she's gonna take it in her hand and walk around to the others, kind of just staring into the middle distance, and just say, "Well, she's gone, Regiment. No more Deirdre. She's this was through her chest," and she's gonna gesture with the sword and say, "And there's another body back there. I don't recognize it. It's an armor with some sort of sun pattern on it, but it looks like they were fighting. I don't understand. I thought that these creatures that attacked us, they didn't have weapons. What's happening? What the hell is going on here?"
Regiment's gonna walk over to try to see the short sword a little bit more closely. And while he does, I assume you're still holding your great axe, are you?
Yes.
Can
Don't touch it.
he's gonna put his hand on the handle, hopefully. And can I use my new birthday ring?
God damn it!
That does not sound great. Can I use my
Can I
magical item?
take my ring?
Emma! Oh, all my dreams are coming true.
I'd like to use my new magical item to use the mending spell.
Okay. You without really saying a word, like as you're examining with one hand, Regiment, as you examine the blade that Nolra is holding, you place the other hand on the handle of her great axe, and the ring on your finger, simply called the fixing ring, given to Regiment after his first day of work in the masonry, where he not only broke several tools, several mason jars, but also the lock on the bathroom door. Ilaria presented Regiment with this ring as a gift, and the ring was a token of her love for him and his accomplishments. And she wasn't talking about getting a job. She expressed how proud she was of her son in becoming a man, in becoming his own person. This ring would just help him along with the other things. So the fixing ring again has the fixing ring again has a number of charges in it that allows Regiment to cast the mending cantrip as well as the absorb elements first level spell. And as Regiment, as you place your hand on the handle of the axe, the ring just glows for a moment, and the handle is less damaged.
Okay. He's gonna kind of take his focus away from the short sword because he knows he doesn't know anything about it or where it came from, and he's so used to using the fixing ring for many things he's broken or attacked over the times, and then he's gonna just slightly remember its origins, and just look up at Nora and say, "I'm really sorry."
Oh my heart. Oh, yeah. I mean, Nolra would have realized that Regiment hadn't been speaking the last while, and that would have kind of thrown her back to when he first arrived in the orphanage and all. So the fact that he did that and then spoke again is really gonna get to her. So she's just gonna he will see tears in her eyes, but she will not let them fall. And she's just
uses her eye muscles to squeeze them back, does she?
And she's just gonna look down at him and say, "Thanks, brother."
Yeah.
It's gonna catch in her throat, like mine just did there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he'll just say, "I'll stop yourself."
She's gonna laugh and then
Remember Deirdre's body.
I'll be delighted. Get the tooth out. Whoa, you don't need it now, bitch. No, she won't do that. She won't do that.
Can I give you negative inspiration?
But she's gonna call over Umbra because he's got the book smarts, she's got the street smarts, so she's gonna call her brother over and ask her, "Umbra, can you look? Do you recognize that sigil? What is going on in here? What's happening in our village?"
Genuinely concerned, he just shakes his head and kind of mouths words that don't really come. He'll eye up the sigil, but does it ring any bells?
Nope. does not.
He'll cast an eye over Deirdre just for a second before turning away in disgust and just says, I don't think we have time. I don't think we have the time for this.
You're right. But please, all of you, there's obviously something other than that scourge in this village. There's people have been attacked, so I can't risk any of you getting hurt again. So please, we need to be very careful. Do you understand? Sorry, that was very ma'am-like of me.
No, we all just looked at Diara. Do you understand?
What?
Diara's picking
Very
her ear with a
just-
sickle.
Yeah.
She's like swatting a fly.
Umbra will take the hand, one hand each of whoever is closest to him. So Nora and whoever else is nearby, and just give him a squeeze.
Yeah, Nora's going to say, Regiment, I can trust you at point, can't I? Don't trip now. I'm not going to pull you out of this mud.
Yeah. I'll be okay.
The rest of you, please just stay between us and keep your eyes open, okay?
Okay. Gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
So you're going to continue through the village and
To the
on the
orphanage.
path to the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
As the five of you make your way through the ruins of Canuck, you find more bodies, both villagers and what appears to be soldiers. Though the number of dead soldiers in comparison is nothing. It's mostly the villagers that seem to that haven't fared as well. And if you give me 1 second, because for some reason I did not open my character's character sheets, so I don't have my stats. So that would have been weird.
They're all dead.
Crap. Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry. No, as you round the eastern gate up the old road towards the Red Orchard, with Redmond on point, you move as quietly and as carefully and as cautiously as you can, leaving behind the ruins, the carnage and the wreckage, just to be swallowed up by the fog once more. And as you climb the road towards the Red Orchard, you see there is just a thick cloud of black-grey smoke pluming and towering upwards into the twilight air. And then there's a crashing sound. And I'm just gonna do something. Yeah.
Might draw a sword here. Might just have a sword out, just in case.
They haven't. They haven't noticed, because I rolled badly. They haven't noticed the five of you approach. But as you come to the cusp of the hill, you see the Red Orchard. Your home is on fire, and walking around the courtyard, investigatively, you see Mathis. He's peering in windows, standing motionless in the middle of the courtyard between the gate and the front door. You see the metallic and wooden automaton, the man, the creature, the whatever this is, stood frozen like a statue. They haven't noticed you, or if they have, they haven't paid any attention.
Just the two of them we can
Resisting.
see.
It's just the two of them.
Okay.
Okay. Reichman will turn to the rest without saying anything. We'll just kind of make a quiet noise and a gesture for everyone to get down, so we can kind of approach crouching and quietly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get down. I'll hide as much as I can.
Umbra's kind of shaking his head at this.
I assume whatever's being said here is as a whisper, so don't worry. I'm not going to. Actually,
Okay.
I overheard that.
He's like, they made it through the cave to get to us. And you saw what was in that cave. I do not fancy all of us against them.
I don't want to fight them. I just want to find Ilaria. Just around the back, and we'll see if she's there.
Cool.
Well,
Okay.
Nola's going to have turned to Umbra and like she's going to have like wiped a little bit of blood off his face and said, yes, they also smashed your face against a door. And I think I'd like to repay the favor.
So did I.
We're not fighting today. Pretty much every fight we've been in, we nearly died. We just need to get around them, find Ilaria, and get out of here.
I agree.
Moni, is that common sense? I'm with you. Let's just. What are we doing here? Let's just go back to the village and go out the other way.
What if we make it around? There's no way Ilaria went through the village. If we can make it around the back of the building, maybe we can find a trail. Maybe she already left, and we can just track her
into the woods where you almost died and I almost died.
Well, where else are we going to go? We can't stay here.
I don't want to be anywhere near these people.
Just why we're going to make our way around them quietly and see if we can find any tracks to suggest that Ilaria's left. Because we're not getting in that building. She motions to the fact that it is very much on fire.
How much fire? How on fire are we talking? If
How
it's like
much fire?
one story, like is the whole thing in
We'll
gold?
run 1d20 for fire.
Okay, I will do that.
Fiery Inferno.
Oh no, don't. Oh no.
It's the second floor. That's where all the smoke is coming out of. You don't see. You can clearly see flames in the second floor. The attic is still. There's no smoke, smoke spilling out of it, but the first floor and the ground floor seem to be mostly intact, though Mathis hasn't gone inside.
Okay. A thought's just going to occur to Nora, and she's going to turn to Ara and say, the children. Where are the children?
I mean, when we left, it was morning, right? So they would have all been in school.
Yeah.
So Diara's immediately going to look over her shoulder in the direction she knows the school is, and then look back helplessly at Nora and just say, I don't know.
Can
School?
we hear anything?
There is no school.
Like, can we hear any shouting over the flames or?
All you can hear is Mathis' footsteps as he's walking around the courtyard, like he's walking around the building, kind of having a look in the windows. And as the five of you watch, you just hear a hello. We know you're in there. You can come out. It's going to be over. And there's no response.
I really want to hurl a rock at his head, but I will abstain.
We should move. We should move around while he's distracted.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Is there a way into the attic that we know? Sorry. You go.
No, go ahead.
That was it. I was just going to say, is there a way into the attic that we know?
There's on the rear of the building, next to the chicken coops, there's the trellis that had to be reinforced because Mooney kept climbing it, breaking it. So Mr. Sapras because Ilaria was adamant that they don't remove the trellis. She wants to keep it. She was desperately trying to grow weeping ivy. And yes, you can, because I mean, it's basically footholds for Mooney to make her entrance and exit from the house in the wee hours of the morning.
And he's going to take.
If we're going
point.
back on ourselves,
Winnie will take point and try and lead them around to that trellis as quietly and as stealthily as they all possibly can.
And there's the buzzword. Everybody, give me stealth checks.
Oh no.
I've got lots of inspiration to burn.
It's
Yeah,
a 13.
I'm going to get rid of one inspiration.
Okay.
Plus
What was the
zero.
first roll, Fiona?
Huh? The
What was
first
the
roll
first
was a 3.
Oh, okay.
And my second roll was an 18, so I will
Okay.
keep that one.
Got a 16.
Okay, and Umbra?
8.
Oh, a delightful 8. You all skulk, like you all you try to keep as low to the ground as you can and the walls, and you're following Mooney, who, I mean, you don't really know why she kept sneaking out. Like Ilaria didn't pretend anymore that this wasn't happening. Well, she kept up the ruse, but everybody knows Mooney sneaks in, Mooney sneaks out, and occasionally supplies from the pantry were co-opted for the local wildlife and animals. Mooney single-handedly giving diabetes to several flocks of sheep. But
They're so hyper.
they're so hyper. As you're making your way along the western wall, you pass Mistress Apris's workshop, and most of you continue. You're keeping an eye. Your eye is on the northern corner. You're getting to this side of the building. You're going to be able to get into the attic, and then you can try and you'll figure it out from there. But Umbra, you look back, and you can just see 2 legs, and you lean a little bit closer, and you press against the wall, and lying half buried under broken tables, chairs, tools, and rubble, you see a body. And trying to get a closer look, trying to identify who this person is, the wall you're pressing against falls. And immediately the automaton's head just turns, and Mathis looks. It would appear that taking out the rot is a little bit more taxing than we'd first thought, Baru. And Mathis just puts his hands on his hips and turns fully to see you.
Is this not what you planned?
Clearly, it wasn't, Umbra. I had intended for you, and no doubt your siblings, to, well, at the very least, I tried to give you something peaceful. I tried to make it easy.
You burned down our home.
No, I didn't. I just happened to arrive here, and he looks upwards. The 4 walls that you call a home were on fire. It had absolutely nothing to do with me.
Oh, he's such a smug bastard. Yeah, Nola's going to step up and kind of like put a foot in front of Umbra with her axe out, and she's just going to spit at his feet.
Delightful. Should the rest of you, would you like the opportunity to come and christen the ground at my feet with your saliva?
Parchment's going to step forward and spit at his feet.
Why? Why couldn't the 5 of you just die? You deserve peace.
And then he steps forward. Why do you want us to die so much?
Look around you, child. Have you...
She looks around.
What? I meant figuratively, look around you. This place, it's full of death.
But it wasn't until you came here.
And he just grips the bridge of his nose. Nothing. Nothing in the... I know I heard the groaning sound as well.
Yeah, no, it's my cat snoring. I'm sorry.
This stream is crap.
Umbra is gonna like silently kind of try to gesture behind his back to Jara to try and find Ilaria, or like just away, whatever he can communicate with a gesture, since she's the only one who hasn't stepped forward.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, crime. Okay. That's gonna be a 10.
He's again. He has kind of. He had shut his eyes and he'd squinted. So we'll say in that moment, you kind of. What's the gesture? Oh, okay,
I think it's
yeah.
it's just away. It's just like
Okay.
away from where they are. I think the rest is probably up to her to interpret.
Yeah, Dara, you see Umbra give you this signal.
Can I try and move away around the corner?
Yeah, I'll let you keep on the sneak roll. He's kind of somewhat distracted. Again, as he just kind of squints and he clenches his face and he squeezes. Think, child. It doesn't make sense. Surely, even you are aware of things not being as they should be. The world not feeling quite right.
Are you aware of something that we don't know? Why don't you tell us? You gave Carlo that book on Scavenger's Fever. You know what's going on here.
Ugh.
You knew about that door and you wanted to open, but you left us behind it.
I tried to give all of you a small mercy, a thing to just help ease you into the next life. And here you are, persistent, quite persistent, too persistent. Why don't you just want peace? Why don't you just want to lie down and sleep?
Why are you so insistent that we sleep?
Why can't we take our mom and go live away
Smart.
from you?
Because you're not alive.
What?
Sorry?
I feel alive.
Yeah. Certainly fell alive when we were fighting you.
I mean, Dia's almost died quite a few times, but she's still kicking about.
She's still here, yeah.
No.
He
Am I?
winces at the mention of her name, yeah.
think about it. Just let those tiny little brains in your heads breathe for a moment and exercise some rational thought here.
My tiny little brain is telling me to put my axe through your skull. So could you please just get on with this theatrical bullshit you want to do all the time and tell us what the hell is happening? Because I'm sick of you right now.
I think the target is me.
You did psychic damage to the DM.
Which is mockery.
Yeah.
No.
Cutthroat fucking mockery.
It's because the tiny little brain comment got to Nora. She's done. She's done with you.
This is very hard to accept. I understand. Do you really think the 5 of you survived that?
Yes.
The war? You...
The war.
The war?
This has gone on far too long, and I'm very, very tired. I just want a glass of wine. I want to be in a bath. I want a book. Baru, and he looks to the automaton, who has remained still the entire time.
But looking at us, like with his head all twisted weird.
Yeah.
No.
See to it they don't get up. I'll take care of her and her magic. And Mathis runs into the burning building, and the automaton, its head, again, the eyes light up, and there's a hiss of steam, and you just hear a whirring of gears, and the cloak around its shoulders, it just pulls away again, and that full metallic and wooden framed body is exposed to you, and it's humanoid in shape, but it's a twisted malformation of metal. And in its left hand, you just see a morning star, and it hits the mud of the courtyard with a thud. We are going to take a quick break there, and when we come back, everybody will have rolled their initiative, and we will see you in 10 minutes.
For a picnic.
Yeah.
Yay!
Have get something to drink, take a break, have a stretch.
Right.
Maybe do a little bit of that.
Everyone look over their spells.
Yeah. I hope if you're in chat, I hope you're following along. I hope you're enjoying it. And we will see you in 10 minutes. Well, I will. They might all be dead. Well, they are dead, but they might be deader. They're dead.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Maybe.
See you soon in 10 minutes.
come back. Hopefully, that's the way I say hopefully now.
That doesn't
Hopefully
bode
you
well.
had a chance to grab a drink, have a stretch, take a breath. And if you're just joining us, we left 4 out of 5 of the guys. Dara is not unconscious, but she has snuck off, thus splitting the party. I started that trend. We might as well keep it going. But we left with initiative rolls. So, how did everybody fare?
The face that says it all.
4 ones. Cat got 4 ones. Okay.
I got 4.
4.
Natural 20. Natural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, natural 20. Ooh.
Okay.
Not quite as good as mine.
19.
Okay. And Diara?
13.
Okay. Baru, the automaton, also got a nat 20. But his dex is +2. So in my world, the way we work nat 20s is in initiative, I give whoever got the nat 20 a free action. So before the actual kind of whole thing kicks off, you all, I forgot to do this. You just see the automaton put a hand up, and several runes and sigils glow on the palm of its hand. The 4 of you, Umbra, Nulra, Redmond, and Mooney, give me perception checks.
I can't read.
16.
I got a 14.
Hang on. What's my perception?
6.
Ooh, 6.
Okay. With that, effectively everybody but Mooney, right on the center of its palm, around it, and it's the last thing to light up. There's a sigil of the black sun.
Is it the same one that was on the armor?
Yeah. And with its ring finger and a middle finger, it draws a sigil in the air as he casts Blade Ward on himself as his free action. Nulra.
She's gonna point at his hand and say, "That's it. That was the symbol on the armor." But then that's gonna immediately be replaced by, "Oh yeah, we have to kill this thing." Whoopsie. And she's gonna grip her newly mended axe. Thanks, Reggie. And she wants this guy gone. And she's gonna enter a little rage, and she's gonna go for an attack on him.
Okay. So you'll be using 25 feet of your movement speed to get to him, just as a heads up.
Yep, I have 30 feet.
Okay.
That is a help if I open the right menu here. 16 to hit.
Let me just double check something with this guy very, very quickly. 16 to, yeah, that hits. Roll for damage.
It is 18.
18 damage.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay.
12, 15. No, hold on. 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. I only had 2. Sorry.
Okay. And that's because of Blade Ward that he has resistance. What is it? Slashing damage?
Slashing, yeah.
Yeah, so he has resistance to that. So he takes. Okay, perfect. Okay. And now it is actually, because we're both top of the turn, it's our actions. And as you charge on Nulra and you go into full barbarian rage mode, you swing your great axe at him. You cleave. There's a bit of resistance for a moment in the air where he had drawn the ward for the sigil for his spell Blade Ward, but the axe connects, and as he braces himself, you feel it just kind of cleave right through the metal. In that same moment, he grabs his Morning Star, and he is going to try and bop you on the head with it. 26 to hit.
Just about.
Okay. And then
Oh, how many are you rolling?
no, I'm not. Okay, that is 12 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, she's gonna
Or
use her
piercing
stones of
damage.
endurance. Stones of
Okay.
endurance, please.
Okay.
Oh, it's piercing, is it?
Yes, it's piercing.
Okay, so I can halve that. No, I won't use stones of endurance in that case. I'll take the fucking hit. So 6.
Okay, and then you see one of his arms. Just there's a hiss of steam from it, and it's the arm that you attacked with the great axe. And as he kind of pulls it back, it drops low. He brings it straight up, and he goes to hit you with it, and a dirty 20 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just do it this way, it's quicker. And that is 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so you round up, don't you? So that'll
Yeah.
be 3 damage for me.
And then another 19 to hit
What is happening? How many appendages does this thing have?
for another 5 bludgeoning damage. You all see the automaton like as it wails in to Nullra with its morning star. Its other arm kind of pulls back, and immediately, just with horrifying speed, just punches straight into the right side, connecting with skin and bone. And as quickly as its arm pulls away, it just drives its knuckles straight in, and you feel the air being punched out of your body. It's your action.
It's gonna catch her. She's gonna cough and just hock another spit in the ground and shout back at the others, "Stay clear if you can. This thing packs a punch." And can I see, now that I'm kind of on top of it, can I see more of the makeup of this thing? I know you said it was like wood and metal. Can I see what it's mainly comprised of?
At the moment, it looks like a suit of armor.
Okay.
Like you can just see these glowing eyes. It has, like I said, it has a relatively humanoid visage to it, though it's lacking sort of the detail that a human face would have.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be made of a medley of kind of dark metal and kind of even copper, and there are chunks of wood holding it in place as well.
Okay. She's going to shout back at the others and say, Mooney, if you've got any kind of, I don't know, lightning or fire magic, now might be a good time to use it. And she's going to go for another attack on him. Do I want to do this?
Yes.
No, not yet. No, not yet. I'm just going to go for a straight attack on him.
Okay.
Help me, your conscience.
Oh, that's not going to hit. That's a 7.
It does not. Bonus action?
Nope. I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay. You go to swing your you go to bring the axe straight up Nullra. He just bats it with the morning star, and there's a ringing of metal that echoes throughout the courtyard. You hear a rummaging sound inside as Mathis makes his way into the courtyard. Sorry, and he rolled a 10 just for his initial roll. Sorry, just to be clear. So he's just ran on inside. It is Redmond.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should go inside and help Dari or not. No, he's pissed at the robot. So hearing Nullra kind of saying stay back, he's going to throw his hand axe instead of using his great axe. So that is 23 to hit.
Okay. Yep.
And I rolled the wrong dice. That is 5 damage. And I might do 2 weapon fighting and throw my other one as well. So that's okay.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah. If you want to roll for the second one, if you wish so.
Yeah, that's That's a 22 to hit, and then 7 damage.
Okay, so you just kind of with Nulra barking at you to stay off of this thing, you reach down for both hand axes. You grab the first, and instinctively you reach across your hip and you grab the second and you throw it. The first, you see the creature's right hand as it just bats Nulra's weapon away. Its right arm just pulls your hand axe out of the air. Regent, he catches it.
Fuck.
The second one strikes him straight into the chest, though, and there's now a hand axe sticking out of his chest. Are you set for 7 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was so you first action was to throw, second action, your bonus action was to
Bonus
toss.
action. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Umbra.
Umbra is going to stay put and cast Toll the Dead at Baru. He just cries out to leave his sister alone, and Baru has to meet or beat a DC 13 Wisdom save.
16.
Okay, well, that does nothing. And I think that's enough for me. Thanks, everyone.
Umbra, as you demand this creature to leave your sister alone, your voice just echoes and becomes the toll of a church bell that reverberates around the courtyard. Magic just throbbing from it. The creature seems it just falls on deaf ears. Diara, you have made it unseen to the back of the house. You see the trellis, and you can see smoke pluming from the back here. You don't hear any sound inside. You can climb this up to the first floor, to the second floor, or up to the attic.
Muted.
Alaria's floor is the second
Second
right?
floor, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and climb up to the second floor and see if there's a way in, and if not, I'll keep going to the third floor.
Again, this was built for Mooney, and Mooney being a furbulg, this is reinforced. You get a hand kind of around the timber frame, and then you're like, oh, there's metal in this as well. What was Mr. Cypress doing? But you get a foot and you start to climb, and you're pulling yourself up, and you can hear the sounds. You just heard Nulra shouting for everyone to stay back. There's clearly something has happened or is happening at the front of the house, and as you make it up, you've just kind of reached the bottom of the windows at the second level, just between your movement speed and stuff like that. So, is there anything else you want to do at this point? Because you haven't seen a way in. You haven't enough movement. What is your movement speed? 30 feet.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have made it up that far just yet.
Okay. Yeah. No, she's just gonna keep climbing.
Okay. Mathis is gonna go on a little hunt. Okay, that is not great for him. You can just hear crashing coming from inside the house as Mathis is losing composure. He's losing patience. He's just frustrated with how long this is taking. But he is searching for Ilaria. Mooney.
Okay. Mooney is going to run. Well, she's not going to run. She's going to step forward. Gets a good vantage point on the automatron. She's going to hear Nulra call out to use lightning or fire, and she's going to take out her book, go to the specific page, and cast Firebolt, and send a little bolt of fire right at the metal man. And a 6 to hit. Oh yeah, that'll probably hit. 25.
No. It bounces off and it scorches Nora.
Oh,
It does.
sorry.
At 25 does hit. Roll for damage.
1d10 fire. And oh no, two fire damage.
You, as you flick through the book, you see that Brassica has already kind of dog-eared the page, and it's instinctively you don't have to go searching for it. He had it ready, almost knowing what it is that you were going to do, or wanted to do, or needed to do, and he kind of shoves the book out of the bag up at you, and the words just light up on the page, and to everyone else, it's the story of a spark that wanted to become a bonfire. To you, it means so much more than that. And sparks do flick and hiss at the tips of your fingers, and then they erupt. And as quickly as they do, there is just a spitball of fire that whizzes around you, and then you just flick it like you would a paper ball, and it rushes through the air, and the courtyard is illuminated as Baru is struck, and the fireball just singes at some of the wood on its frame, and you see he's knocked, like he's just kind of shoved back a little, but he turns and kind of fixes himself once more. Top of the turn order, I believe. Yep, that means it's me. Okay. Yep, let's go do this again.
Yay.
Hey.
That's a nat 20.
Ooh.
No, doesn't,
Just smash right in the head.
doesn't hit. Doesn't hit.
Doesn't.
Okay, so that's 17 damage.
Doubled?
Hold on, I'm trying to do the maths. What's half of 17?
So I don't do,
Rounded
sorry,
up.
Kat, I don't do the whole roll your dice and then double it. Whatever the damage dice is, I give you that as a flat number. So if it was a d6, you automatically roll a 6, and then you roll your damage and you just add that
Okay,
to it.
so my resistance, this is basically 2 attacks in one, you're saying?
No, that was just one attack.
Okay, well then I do have it.
Okay. Do that
Yeah,
then.
I
Okay.
will.
Okay.
That's 9.
Okay.
I'm going to use my Stone's Endurance, okay?
Okay.
And I'm just going to roll my d12. Oh, that's nice. That's 11 plus 2, 13. So that one doesn't hurt me. What's next?
Okay. So as you again, as he's struck by the firebolt, his arm retracts, like his arm actually gets shorter, and then immediately it whips out again with the Morning Star, and he goes to crack you, Nolra, straight on the head. You bring the great axe up, and as you hold it, his grip on it, as his strike, his strength forces your hand down, and you feel the handle not break, but you feel it actually bend a little in a way that it's never done before. And just before the spike of the Morningstar strikes you, you feel you wince, and your whole body just turns to rock. You feel that sort of that instant, like just bracing, and the Morningstar actually bounces off your head. You are completely unharmed. There isn't even a hair out of place. Not that you could tell in that awful mess of yours.
Are you talking about me, really?
That was for earlier on. And okay, so a 24 to hit, and
Like, why are you just like wanting to
25
turn me
to
into
hit.
paste? Yeah, okay. Just
and
Bye.
that's another 5 bludgeoning, and another, so it's 10 bludgeoning damage in total.
okay, so 5.
Yep.
Okay.
As he with his other hand, he just completely, he's now moved from punching you in the side, he's now punching you in the side of the head. It's your turn, Nora.
She's not good. She's not in a good way right now. And she's going to shout back at Mooney. I meant more like of a bonfire, not a sparkler.
Sorry.
And she's going to try.
She says, now concussed.
I think that's what I said. And even though she felt the axe bend in her hand, she trusts this weapon. So she's going to attempt to attack him with her great axe again. 22 to hit. Does that hit, Declan?
Yep.
12 damage.
Okay. Just ignoring, like, as he is wailing into the side of your head, it's comparably, it's like Regiment just kind of, it's that, you just remember, it's that stop hitting yourself kind of thing. But with blood in your mouth, you spit like a glob of saliva and blood to the ground. Grip the handle of your great axe a little higher than you would normally, and you just bury it into his side. And there is a ripping and tearing sound as metal gnashes into metal. And you see for a moment the lights in his eyes flicker a little bit. And then staring down at the edge of your great axe, Nolra, you see blood.
Oh,
Okay.
Bonus action?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me something horrible. No, she's going to say
That
what
is
she
horrible, you monster.
what would have been horrible? Like your axe was slightly broken again.
Yeah. She's going to get a little bit excited, even though she's really fucked. She doesn't want to move any further. She wants to stay where she is because she wants to protect the rest. But she's going to shout back, "There's meat! There's meat under here! Keep hitting it!"
Oh, there's meat under it.
Disgusting. Regiment.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Seeing Nora's excitement and with both his hand axes gone, the only thing he really kind of has is his great axe. So he's going to do the same and try get the other side of him, if that's okay.
Okay.
So let me roll 2. That is 20 to hit.
20 hits, yeah.
With plus 3, 10 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you do. You chart like Redmond. You're like, okay, I've got nothing left to chuck, so I'll just chuck myself with my axe at him. And seeing Nolra having buried her great axe into his side, you grab yours and you go to hack a limb off, but you actually manage to cleave into some of the armor. And again, there is a violent tearing sound, but as you pull the axe back, there's no blood. There's just sparks.
Cool. So feeling disappointed by that, I'm going to use my action surge, so I can take one additional action on your turn. Okay. This can be used once per short rest, so I'm going to do it again, if that's okay.
Yep.
And that is a nat 20 to hit, so plus 5, so 25.
Yep.
But only 6 damage.
But plus no.
Oh, sorry. So it's 1d12, so 12 plus 2.
I take that back. That is not the rule.
Who's turning to paste now? Me
so that's 15 total then. So 1d12 and I rolled a 3. So yeah.
He again just God, there's no blood, you liar. Like literally that's what you Nolra, that's what you hear Regiment shouting at you as he goes full on, like it's that kid wailing into like a Kinder Surprise going, there's no surprise in here, having mauled at it. Just kind of it's the same finesse and grace that you've come to associate with Regiment. He literally takes one step back, kind of swivels his hips a little bit like he was going to hit, a schlitter, and he just turns and twacks right in again, kind of hitting where he first tried to shave off a part of the armor, gets in, and this time there's just a gush of crimson liquid into the air, and then a spurt of black liquid that stinks. Like the village.
I was going to say. Swamp water?
Is it dead?
Oh, nope, he's looking like crap, but he's still up. Umbra.
Umbra is going to turn to Mooney and say, how many of those berries you got left?
I had 9 until she shoved the rest into your face.
Who shoved what?
You can make more if you want, but it's a resource. I don't think we've got much time for that.
No. Okay. You look after them.
Okay.
I'm going to go find Yara
Yeah, I will.
and Ilaria. And
luck.
remembering Ilaria was sick, he is going to cast Detect Poison and Disease again and attempt to pinpoint her location. It only stretches 30 feet.
There is. Okay. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Butts.
Did you say butts?
I did say butts. It's actually not that bad. It's 21. It's good. It's
Not
it's a
that
good
bad.
one. Yeah.
It's not butts.
Or is it?
This is. I described that feeling of the feedback from your magic the first time round. This time, there's a white noise that gets very hot, very painful. Right? It feels like somebody is clawing inside your eardrums, clawing inside your heart, trying to bear themselves out of you. So great a feeling do you get of death and decay from inside the house. You know exactly where Ilaria is. She is 25 feet above you and 8 feet to your right. She's inside her room.
Okay. Quickest way up there is up the trellis.
Or in the front door. And up the stairs, if you want to try that.
That's very on fire, so it is. So it'll probably, no, it'll probably just climb the trellis 30 feet as high as he can get up.
Okay, but you're going to have to move to the back of the house and come around.
Yes.
Kind of and as you are doing this, Umbra, you kind of get a foot onto the trellis and you see Diara above you, looking in the windows of the second floor.
Me?
No, the
Yeah,
other
no.
Diara. That's in the game that we're playing.
No, I thought it was still James's guy.
Well, no, he will, seeing you, he will call up and say she's in a room.
She's not really paying attention. She's just gonna take the butt of her dagger and smash the window.
Okay. You could have just lifted it. It was one of those.
So dramatic.
It was jammed. It was jammed.
It's jammed. I tried.
She's our token emo girl.
A lot of glass rains on Umbra. He's like, oh.
I gotta use my turn now to cast a healing word on myself. Diara, give me a perception check, please.
Come on, girl.
17.
Yeah.
You just saw Mathis run by the hallway.
Bastard.
I'm not going to shout. I'm going to point at Umbra and use message to say he's in the hallway. Get up here fast.
It's not my turn yet. I can't. He says.
I gotta wait.
Are you climbing in?
And then I'm gonna climb in the window.
Okay. You still have about 20 feet of movement there if you want to make it to...
Am I in the kids' room?
Yes, you would be in the room where all the cots are with the kids. And there is a door that connects this to Ilaria's room.
Yeah, so I'm gonna creep to that door, avoiding all the floorboards that squeak.
Okay. Give me a... Are you doing it sneakily or acrobatically?
Oh,
Acrobatically.
yeah.
Okay.
Somersault over them.
Just kidding. No, it's 11.
Okay. I mean, you try to do it as quietly as you can, but you're half panicked and you don't quite remember where everything is, and there is one or two that there is an audible groan from it. Whatever Mathis is doing, he either doesn't give a shit there's somebody else in here, or he doesn't think there's anyone else in there, or it's just the fact that the house is on fire, so everything's probably creaking anyway. You make it to the door.
Okay, I'm gonna test the handle. Because if Home Alone has taught me anything, it's that you don't grab things that are on fire.
It is scorching hot.
So she'll grab a bed sheet and just wrap it around it and then try and open the door.
Okay. As you do that, it is Mace's turn. And we'll be fair, we'll roll for it. Okay, thankfully he's not a complete dolt. And the fancy looking door is probably where there's someone sleeping and not just the broom closet he found the last time. I was rolling for him in doors just to see what he was opening and finding. You, Dyer, as you grab a bedsheet and you wrap it around the handle of the door and brace yourself to open it, you hear a door on the other side open, audibly, like almost like half ripped off the hinges, and then loud, heavy footsteps inside the room, followed by coughing and spluttering. That is him, Mooney.
Me. Okay. Mooney is going to watch as Umbra runs around the side of the house and is just going to re-engage with Baru. And she's going to hear Nolra's constructive criticism. And she's going to look at the spell again, reread it, and she's going to try Firebolt one more time. And fingers crossed, do a bit better this time. +6 to hit. No, 11 to hit.
It does not hit.
She's very frustrated. she's just looking down at the spell, and she's just like, "What's wrong? What's wrong with the spell? The spell's not working."
The pages, Mooney, actually catch a little on the edges. Just when you were a kid, you're trying to make something old and like it had been aged ever so slightly. They catch as you're casting it. The fire does work, and as quickly as the edges of the pages catch and kind of burn a little bit, they restore themselves. They repair themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus action
for flavor. Because Mooney has acquired her subclass at level 2 without even thinking about it. It just comes naturally to her. She's going to use her bonus action, and a little quill's going to appear in her hand, and she's going to see something wrong with the spell, and she's going to make a little correction to it with this little quill that's just appeared out of midair, and that's her turn.
Baru is... Oh, there's the two of you now. Okay, Old Faithful to Nulra.
Oh wow.
And
Darren picked me.
26 will hit. And that is 11 piercing damage, Nulra.
Bye.
You gone?
Bye.
You're down?
Yeah.
Okay. He full on just with kind of his arms, like he's just leaking blood and this black ichor, groaning, like the metal groaning as he swings the Morning Star. He catches you straight into the gut with it, knocking you to the ground. And Reginald, you don't see Nulra get up. And then as your eyes kind of catch her, you just see in the same motion his right hand form a fist, weakly go for you. And a 15 does not hit.
Nope.
But a nat 20 will.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah, it
This
might.
is a fix. This is a fix.
And that is 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
How are you looking there, Reggie?
Sorry, this is new. I'd like to use my birthday ring, but I'm just trying to see if it applies. So I have absorb elements, but I'm trying to figure out if triggering damage, what that is. It's just nothing. It's not a term I've heard before. Sorry.
So it's if you're hit with something like fire damage or lightning damage, you can absorb that damage type.
Got it.
And then spit it back out.
So not applicable in this case.
No.
Cool. So how much damage was that? Sorry.
12.
12. Cool.
Yeah, he just as he wallops Nulra to the ground, his arm just goes out, and with the right side of his fist, he clops you into the head, Regiment, and then he buries his elbow into your chin.
Okay.
Nulra, death saving throw.
10.
All's fine for you. Regiment,
Hoorah.
you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for my great axe again, if possible. Balls. So that is 15 to hit.
That just
Oh, thank God.
And that is 7 plus 3 damage, so 10.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for my bonus action, I would like to use my second wind. So once per short rest, you can use a bonus action to regain 1d10 plus 2 HP. So that is 4 plus 2, so that's 6.
Nice. Yeah, you just kind of like doing your breathing, like literally kind of, it's like calming yourself, trying to find yourself, just focusing on everything around you. You shirk off some of the pain. It's just you're breathing through it. It's Alaria told you that when your temper flared, when you got angry, when you got mad, when you got sad, even to breathe and just remember. And as you do that, your eyes lock on Nulra, and just with a yell and a roar, you bury the axe straight down into the automaton's foot. And again, it doesn't scream, it doesn't yell, it doesn't say or do anything. It's still standing. It's barely standing, but it's still standing.
Okay.
Umbra.
Umbra is going to attempt to not acrobatically, sneakily get into the floor with Yara and Mathis.
So yeah, you'll make it up the trellis and about halfway across the room just to see. You're not quite sure what you heard, but there's a commotion coming from Alaria's room, and you just see that Diara has wrapped something around the handle of the door and seems to have. She's trying to make her way in. Are you taking any, other than your movement, any action or bonus action? I mean, you can dash if you wanted to the door.
I think he'll ready his long bow to take a shot at Mathis if he shows up.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. That is over to you, Diara. As Umbra draws his longbow.
So she's going to. I don't know if I can do this in one action, because she's heard him come in. She knows, has a feeling there's nobody else in the house apart from him and Alaria. So can she pull the door open and immediately cast Bane at him as soon as she sees him?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Okay. So you have to save charisma saving throw. 13.
That is. Oh God, please tell me it's a nat 1 or nat 20. No, that's a nat 20.
Surprise, surprise.
You open the door, like you pull the door open with a whip, Diara, and full sure of what you're going to do, what you need to do, you're in shock. And the magic, the cry, the song, the humming, all of that energy that you had pulled up and readied, you swallow like a lump in your throat as you see Mathis holding Alaria up, and he has a blade to her throat.
Let her go.
Are you taking any bonus actions? And Umbra, you can now see Mathis if you want to make your attack.
I'm going to give Umbra Bardic Inspiration.
Other than that, are you using any other bonus?
Okay. Longbow attack for an amount yet to be determined. Never mind. That's 19-21 to hit.
That hits.
Oh yeah, it should do. It should do. Hits Ilaria? No.
Yeah.
Um,
So you shot your mom.
That's like the title of a book.
That's what you get.
Oh, I'm panicking.
Yeah, me too.
6 piercing.
As Jaira, as you see this unfolding, you just turn kind of tears in your eyes, a pain in your throat, and just looking at Umbra, you push magic from you. It's a prayer. It's a prayer that you sing deep down inside you. And Umbra, you let the arrow go. It flies through the air, and it catches Mathis just barely missing his neck. As it slices straight through, he lets out kind of a grunt. Really, you're that desperate. You'd even shoot as I held this woman. This is utterly sad. I really hope this brings you peace. And he drives the blade into Illyria's neck.
Diara immediately screams.
He just drops her. Like he stabs her in the neck, shunks her from the blade, and just shoves her off him. And he holds the blade defiantly.
Oh.
Can we charge him? Or do we have to wait for our next action?
It's that spell passing back and forth. He's looking around the room. How are you still alive? And we go back outside. Oh wait, yeah, we cut to Mooney.
Okay, she's gonna try it one more time. Okay.
Mooney,
Just-
Redmond, not Nora because you're unconscious. Something at that exact moment, something felt awful. It was the worst feeling. It was like drowning and freezing and falling at the same time. Mooney.
Mooney's gonna catch herself. She's gonna look up and look to her home at that feeling, and then remember Nalra has fallen. Regimond's not looking so good. She's gonna look back down at her book and the adjustments she's made. She's gonna look at Baru and cast Firebolt one more time and hope it works. And I'm not swapping dice. I paid for these dice.
Are these your new ones,
These
Kat?
are the
Chat
new
send
ones
energy. Chat send good vibes.
They're from Dakota Irish. Please, baby. Little whiskey kisses. Come on, good boy. I think it hits 18 to hit.
That hits.
It means
Yay!
nothing till I roll damage. Fire. The 0, that means 10. 10 full damage, full fire damage. Yay.
Nulra's wraith will not haunt you.
Yay. Thank you, whiskey.
Mooney, as you scratch the words out onto the page, and you start to rewrite it. You just hear kind of, for heaven's sake. And Brassica scrambles out of the bag, up the side of your dress, like your blouse, and it sits on your shoulder and just squints at the writings on the page. And you just close, but just, and then he just gestures at one of the words. Tell me how you defeat Baru.
She'll finish the little inscription, she'll score out a couple of things, and she'll notice at the corner of her eye the little illustrations on the page seem to come alive and to move up towards her writing, and they're pointing towards little errors that have been made, and she'll fix them and then look up, hold out her hand, and just ignite the firebolt. It's the strongest it's ever been, and it'll just shoot and cascade right between Regiment and right into the clavicle of this awful, awful little animatronic man, and just ignite him and burn him and all those bad things.
The Regiment, you feel before she's even cast it from her, you can't help but feel the fire just burning, the heat from it behind you, and just kind of half casting a look over your shoulder. You just see kind of a flash of red hot flames as they blast past you, strike the automaton, who is in one movement obliterated and blown backwards off his feet. He hits the ground about 10 feet away from you with a thud. He bounces a second time and then skids. You see him put a hand into the ground, push up, and then fall.
Yeah.
You have defeated Baru.
What does his meat smell like as it's cooking?
I don't know, what does your unconscious body smell like as it lies there? A bubble of dirt around you. You, at that moment, all of you feel, and inside Umbra and Diara, you hear things rattling and shaking. The ground itself begins to shake violently, and you see the walls of the Red Orchard orphanage cracking, glass shattering, and overhead the sky, which was a dwindling twilight, blackens, and there's a crack of white light, and then an explosion of rumbling thunder. And Mathis just looks at at you, Umbra, and Diara, sword still drawn. Well, if this didn't end it, and he points the blade and he readies himself. Regiment, it's your action. Oh wait, no, sorry, it's your action for death saves.
Oh.
I'm just going to use my inspiration, thanks. Yay, 13.
Yeah, you're still unconscious. Regiment.
Regiment will turn around to Mooney and say, "Holy shit, Mooney, I didn't think you had it in you."
Hello.
Slams
Good
the
job.
shot in its way proud.
I'm coming over. Credit where credit's due. And then he'll walk over to Nora of his own accord and do a medicine check. That's right.
Yeah, sure. Give me a medicine
Now,
check.
remember how good you were at the medicine when you did it on Diara? So I want to see
Yeah.
that same thing with me, please.
Cool. I've got a -1 on it, so
Telling us this now.
13, so 14 minus 1.
Yeah, you have been passed out enough, and so has Nulra enough that you know how to take care of each other when one of you goes unconscious from drinking or fighting or drink fighting or fighting drink, as you like to call it. You roll her onto her side. You check that she hasn't swallowed her tongue. She's grand. Recover 1 HP, Nolra, but you are still unconscious.
I'm still unconscious. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I was going to try something there. But...
Okay. We move back inside. Umbra.
Umbra is going to furiously throw his bow to the ground and then charge at Mathis. Like, take his head in both his hands and cast Inflict Wounds.
Ooh.
Okay.
Boom. That is that's an attack roll of 16 to hit.
It does not.
Oh, he's tough.
You charge at him, just throwing your bow through the side of the room. You barrel into the room past Diara, half screaming, half crying, your eyes kind of fixed on Illyria. You reach for Mathis and you go to grab, and you add a handful of his hair, and he just takes 2 sweeping steps back. Bonus action.
Did he pull out some of his hair at least?
No. God, no.
No bonus actions available.
Okay. Diara.
She's going to run to Illyria's body and just like try and stop the bleeding at her neck. But there, like, is it quite obvious that she's dead?
Give me a medicine check.
Whoa. Ooh, not 20.
She. 2 things as you place a hand on her, Diara. She is colder than ice, but you can hear her heart beating, and it's getting louder and louder and louder.
Can I cast Healing Word on her?
What's the casting time of Healing Word? Is it a bonus action?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I'm shivering.
Oh, what a time to freeze. Please hold. I think it's just, yeah. Healing Word.
Is that what you say as you cast it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna sing Healing Word. No, she's gonna say, oh fuck me. She's gonna say stay, and it's a 6.
You, what's the word? Oh, you said stay, sorry. You kind of half breathing through tears, you just utter the word stay, and you feel the magic leaving you. The wound, it's still there, and the heartbeat stops.
Ooh.
Fuck. I ruined it. She's just gonna like let out like a groan of frustration and look at Umbra. What am I supposed to do?
You just feel a hand touch your face.
She's gonna grab it and look down.
Ilaria is staring up at you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Her eyes are black.
Oh, fuck.
Don't cry, little one.
Oh.
Please don't cry. I'm okay. And yeah, sorry, go on.
No, go. Keep going.
Mathis takes a look at you, Umbra. Seeing what's in front of him, you see him like that. That complete and total smugness, that cockiness, that arrogance, that petulance. It melted away. He goes whiter than snow. You see all light in him kind of just drain away. And he's fixed on Ilaria and then looks back at you. You have no idea. No clue who you are. And he holds out a hand to you. He holds out his left hand. And there tattooed, you see a black sun. And it glows. And in front, between the two of you, you just see a warping of light. Like heat bouncing off of a road. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. And he steps through. Casting Dimension Door.
Fucking coward.
He flips you off, Nora.
My unconscious body.
Yeah.
We could have had something.
What? Why? 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 Where are we?
The house is on fire. We have to go. The orphanage is on fire.
Let's just go home.
What are you talking about? This is our home.
No. And she reaches out to kind of put a hand on your shoulder. Dara, like kind of pulling herself up. Just take me outside, Dara. It'll be okay. You've muted yourself again. You keep doing that.
She's just going to look at Umbra and say, help me.
No. No, we will, yeah. No, we will, yeah.
It's like, oh, what?
Carrying her, you make your way out. The room on fire, the hallway on fire. You navigate the collapsing parts of the ceiling, down the stairs, and out into the front, where you see Mooney with Brassica sitting on her shoulder, Redmond kneeling over Nulra, who has a pretty hefty shiner. And at one end of the courtyard, you see the remains of Baru. All of my little ones. Why? And then she sees Nulra. And she collapses on her hands and knees and just crawls towards her and throws herself over her. No.
Bends down over them. Her locket ready.
I can. No, it's okay. I can fix this. And she's just whispering in your ear, Nora. found you, and I saved you. And she's just stroking your hair. We can go home.
The village is gone. Canuck is gone.
It doesn't matter. I can bring us somewhere else.
It
Let's
won't
go
be
somewhere
home.
else then.
Moni, we can go somewhere else.
Let's go somewhere else. I don't want to be here anymore.
And she just looks at Mooney and she looks at you, Umbra, Diara and Regiment, and she holds out her, like, pulling Nora up onto her lap. She just holds her hands out for an embrace. I'm not going anywhere.
Regiment dives straight in for the cuddle.
Mooney will also cuddle.
Umbra stands staring at the burning orphanage and down at the ruins of Canuck,
Yeah,
shaking
Diara
his head.
Diara's just staring at like the group hug happening, and
And
it's
the
just
gaping
like,
wound in his neck.
yeah, and it's just like, ew, no, and it's just and it's just like, what aren't you telling us?
It doesn't, Diara. It doesn't matter. Please, we can go home. We can be happy again.
And she's gonna
Please.
look back at Umbra for reassurance.
Umbra stares back with none to give.
What is Brassica doing?
Brassica has balled himself up and is making himself as tiny as possible.
Oh, she's cradling him like a little football. She's also like kind of like disengages from the hug a little bit, and she starts fumbling with the locket, and she opens it up, and more berries spill out from the etching, and she offers them to Malaria.
Like Ilaria just strokes your cheek. Oh, Moody, you were such a precious child.
I finally learned how to use it.
I know you did, sweetheart. I know you did. Please, Diara, Umbra. I just want to go home.
Diara's just gonna put her hand out for Umbra.
And Ilaria's going to reach out with her hand towards you.
Umbra recoils a little bit and just clasps his hands together, seeking comfort.
Please.
I can't go without you.
He
We're
steps forward
family.
and kneels down beside them.
Diara joins them.
It'll be okay. I can make it so you won't remember this.
Mooney sort of like tenses a little bit at that.
And then everything goes dark. Oh no. As the five of you and Ilaria embrace in front of the burning red orchard. And there's just darkness. And then there's a smell. Oats. Just caught. Stuck to the bottom of a pan that's smoke and cream. And there's a gurgling sound. And Ulra, you know that's Regman's stomach. And the five of you are warm, but it's that thing of if one of you snags the covers, you're going to be cold. And you just hear a voice calling out, "Children." And all of you hear Ilaria, "Wake up. Wait, sleepyheads. I won't ask you again. Please. Wake up. We've lessons and adventures. And I believe I promised one of you that we would go and try and tame a seagull this morning."
Mooney's just like,
You all kind of blink up with the kind of the activity of Mooney just kind of bursting up. And you find yourselves in a small cottage. And it's that thing where your breath catches on the air, and though there's a fire burning in a stove and you can see steam and a little smoke bubbling from the pot, you see Ilaria stood over it with a rather large wooden spoon, just mixing the oats, smiling at you. A long scar wrapped around her left shoulder and neck. She smiles, turns and dishes out bowls onto the table, and 5 small stools are set there. And as you rub your eyes, you find yourselves yawning and stretching. Your childlike frames just rolling out. Your feet touch the cold stone floor, dust and straw whipping up around you as you move out of the bed toward it. And Ilaria just kind of ruffles each of you on the head, although she reaches up to Nulra and to Mooney and just kind of gives you both kind of a pinch on the cheek. Breakfast, and then lessons, and then, and only then, are we going seal hunting. And as you take seats, Umbra, you stare out the window, down the hill, towards the beach and the stones and the water. And as the sun begins to rise, and we are in that time between night and day once more, walking up the path, you and only you see a woman wearing a dress and a shawl made of sunlight and darkness. And you hear her voice. Death must remember. And we will leave chapter 6
No!
right there.
oh my god, we're babies.
It's so nice being unconscious towards the end because I just get to enjoy the story.
Oh no. Are we level 1 again?
Level 0.
No, I don't want to be a child. No.
Where'd my badger go?
Oh.
It's a seal now. We're going to kill it.
Oh, Declan.
Oh my word.
I forgot that we were streaming, and then I had to do a conclusion here. Sorry. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. I think the look of bewilderment on James's face is kind of what threw me. I was like, Is James happy or sad or angry with me?
I don't know.
I think he's at some degree with me. Thank you so much to James, Eilish, Fiona, Kat, and Emma for playing and completely throwing out what I had planned out the complete total fucking window, which is phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. We are D8 Dungeon, or we're one half of D8 Dungeon, an Irish little group that tell whimsical tales of intrigue and upset James a lot.
I'm sorry. Who was the only one crying on stream today?
Oh, baby.
I nearly did, but I didn't give Declan the satisfaction.
Let it out. It's good for you.
He feeds on it.
I do actually, yeah. I would stay youthful. D8 Dungeon, we stream fortnightly here on Sundays with Rise of the Forsaken, and every other Friday, so this Friday coming, we release an episode of a podcast called Romancing the Dungeon, which is in its second season, and it's a lot different to what you witnessed here. It's a rom-com inspired softcore D&D podcast about 4 heroes living their daily lives while looking for love in a world that happens to be full of monsters, peril, and heartbreakers. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, we would love if you check it out. You can find D8 Dungeon on all social media channels, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but who uses Facebook these days? So you'll find us on everything. We have probably like what I think is my favorite place on the Ancient Age Article Discord community. It's like my little place to go to look at memes and just interact with absolutely lovely people. So we would love if you would consider joining us over on our Discord server. You can find all this information. I think maybe James shared it through Moobot there a little bit. Yeah. We are back in 2 weeks' time for what I'm calling Chapter 7, Forsaken Babies. No, I'm joking.
Can I ask something before we go? If Nolra was able to regain consciousness, she would have said to Regiment, like looking over at the body of the automaton, saying, "Wow, you did it, Regiment." Would he have told her the truth and said that Mooney dealt the finishing blow, or would he have lied and taken the glory for himself?
I would have said the three of us did it together.
Oh,
That's
So
so
then-
worse.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? Because then I'd still
Lame.
get a lot of glory, but still look like the better person.
I'm
If-
sickened.
If you have just joined us for the very first time, do give us a follow here on Twitch. You can catch up on all previous episodes of Rise of Forsaken over on our YouTube channel. And keep an eye out for some content across all our platforms in the next couple of days and weeks as we get ready for 2020. Well, we are ready for 2022 as we bulldoze our way through 2022. And I try not to make people cry every stream. So that's a lie. Thank you so much from all of us. Have a good evening. Have a wonderful week. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Oh my god! What was that noise? What cat was that?
Oh, that's sorry. Just before you go, just to explain that, I currently I'm living with a 17-year-old Spanish cat called Picho,
Oh.
and he's had a stroke and he has early onset dementia.
Oh my
no.
god.
Was that him?
That was him. That was Picho. He's Spanish.
Not he had a stroke just there.
No.
Okay.
Hey, Picho. He had 6 teeth removed. Leave him alone. He's amazing.
Oh, he's
Picho,
Post a
asking
picture
help.
of him on Discord.
Okay, I'll
Picho, get Declan.
No, Picho, no.
Oh. Okay.
Oh god. Okay, bye friends.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Achoo.
Picho.